is the word of this salvation sent to you, Israelites. I'm here outside of Israel. I'm all in these Greek provinces. I'm in Rome. I'm in Italy. I'm here. I'm there. Speaking to you, Israelites, and whoever among you Israelites fear the Most High. You are Israelites. This is what is expected of you. This is how you should live. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. You should know this. You should know that. That's who Paul went to speak to. Israelites. All right? So he said all that. Now, let me go to hit a point in 1 Corinthians really quick. 1 Corinthians 10. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. It says, so now this is Paul. He's now in Corinth. If I'm not mistaken, Corinth is in Greece, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I know Corinth is not in Jerusalem. All right? That's for sure. So he's speaking to these Corinthians, all right, these Gentiles in Corinth. And what is he saying? Because he is the apostle to the Gentiles, the foreigners, the Israelite foreigners. All right. And what is he saying to these men in Corinth? 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. It says, moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea. Who passed through the sea? Israelites, and Israelites only. All right? Who was under the cloud? Who was under those ships? All right? Only Israelites. All right? And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahushua. All right, but when did this take place? When did this happen? Back before when we were let out of Egypt, and before we went to the promised land, Israel. All right, this happened. And he's saying, men, brethren, you know, I would not that ye should be ignorant, you Corinthians, how that our fathers were all under the cloud. Our fathers, who were their fathers? Israelites. Who was he speaking to? Those men in Corinth, who were at one point called Gentiles. Because why? Either they didn't know that they were Israelites, or they were just doing as the Corinthians were doing. All right? See, but now it was time for them to be taught the truth, to either accept it to salvation or reject it to death, to destruction. All right? So he went all these different places. You know, we already talked about how he was in Paphos and Pergia, Pamphylia and Poseida of Antioch and Corinth, and he went to, you know, Ephesus and Philippi and all these places, right? So here it is in Acts 15 and 1. It says, Acts 15 and 1. And certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved. When therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem unto the apostles and elders about this question. All right, so here it is. They still, you know, making moves, but when this particular topic came up about this, they were like, well, you know what? Go to the elders and the apostles and back to Jerusalem. I know you making your journeys and doing your rounds to all these different spots, going to teach the Gentiles, the Israelite foreigners. But go back to Jerusalem and holler at them about this. Verse 3, it says, and being brought on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenicia and Samaria, declaring the conversation of the Gentiles. And they caused great joy unto all the brethren. So Paul had went and, declared, what he had done, what it was being said, what was up with them, what was up with those Gentiles, those Israelite foreigners. Caused all great joy to the brethren. So those that was in the truth, they was like, man, more they accepting it, they hearing it, they receiving it. Oh, beautiful. All praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? How they didn't even know that they was Israelites, or maybe they did and they was doing all manner of wickedness and doing all type of shit. They repented and then come back into the truth, accept Yahweh Shai, accept Yahweh Shai. Hey, all praises, man. So is verse 4. It says, and when they were come to Jerusalem, they were received of the church and of the apostles and elders, and they declared all things that the Most High had done with them. So they went back, telling them too, they back in Jerusalem now. Man, this is what happened. This is what happened. Okay. Verse 5. It says, but there rose up certain of the sect of the Pharisees which believed, saying that it was needful to circumcise them and command them to keep the law of Moses. And the apostles and elders came together for to consider of the matter. And when there had been much disputing, Peter rose up and said unto them, men and brethren, ye know how that a good while ago the Most High made choice among us, that the Gentiles by my mouth should hear the word of the gospel and believe. How did that happen first? With Cornelius coming to holler at him. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High telling him, hey, I know that y'all used to count them as heathens, but now I've made a choice. It said God made the choice among us. All right? The Most High made the choice that now it's time for the Israelite foreigners to come into this thing and be grafted back in. That's what in Romans 11, that whole graft, which is the word encontrenzo. All right, the Greek word for the word graft is encontrenzo. All right, which means to insert, basically a scion. All right, so a scion mean a descendant. So to desert someone who was already a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob back into the fold. All right, but it says God made choice among us that the Gentiles by my mouth should hear the word of the gospel and believe. And the Most High, which knoweth the hearts, bear them witness, giving them the Holy Spirit, even as he did unto us, and put no difference between us and them. Just like no difference between the Jew and the Greek, the Grecians, the Jews who made Greek their tongue, the Israelite foreigners. There's no difference between the Israelite foreigners and those who were born right here in Jerusalem, knowing that they are Israelite, because we have all of sinned and fall short of the glory of the Most High. All right, we all have. It says, verse 9, and put no difference between us and them, purifying their hearts by faith. Now therefore, why tempt ye the Most High, to put a yoke upon the neck of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear? You just said we wasn't able to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We wasn't able to keep it 100%. You know what I'm saying? So they or our fathers wasn't able to do it. It says, but we believe through the grace of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, we shall be saved even as they. Because they Israelites too. They Israelites too. Even though we counted them, heathens. We counted them as a Gentile in another nation. But now the Most High said, hey, what I'm a cleanse, call not thou common and unclean. They back in the fold now, if they believe. It says, verse 12, then all the multitude kept silence and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul, declaring what miracles and wonders the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by them. It says, I'm going to read that again. Then all the multitude kept silence and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul. So they listened to what Barnabas and Paul had to say. And what did Paul and Barnabas have to say? They had to declare what miracles and wonders the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by them. So by thy work, by the work of Paul and Barnabas, you know, what miracles and the Most High, what wonder that the Most High had wrought. Because like Paul said, I have planted, Apollos have watered, but it's the Most High that get the increase. So Paul went and gave them, you know, the truth. And then those who were going to get it, got it. You know, by the Most High. You know, the Most High had opened up their minds, but who was the Most High's mouthpiece? It was Paul and Barnabas. It says what miracles and wonders the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by them. But wait a minute, when he was in these other lands and on his journeys in these different spots, he was saying, ye men of Israel, how the Most High chose our fathers, how we went under went through the dry land and the sea, and you know, everything that happened with the Israelites. You know, ye men of Israel, ye men of Israel, when he was in these other lands. But right here it says, had wrought amongst them, the Gentiles by them. So right here it's saying how wrought among the Gentiles, and the word Gentiles is being used. All right, but in the other verses it says ye men of Israel. That's how you know this book is to the Israelites and the Israelites only. Even when you see all of you and whosoever, because that's just like a will. If I said I had kids and I said, you know, I used the word all and whosoever, I'm talking about all of my kids, whosoever among my kids. So just somebody stole the will and read it to the audience of all the whole world. That don't mean now that will is talking about all who's listening and hearing my words that I wrote to my children. It's only talking about the children who are mine. So the same thing about this book. All right. So now that now everybody that could get a hold of this book could be put in every language. That don't mean that it's still talking about all people. We didn't broke down the precepts. And there's more to come. That's all I got for right now. But, you know, through the Spirit, if he hit me with more, then I'm going to bring out more. But like the scriptures say, as his ways are plain into the holy, so are they stumbling blocks into the wicked. All right? This is plain. I can see it plain. And all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for giving me the gift of faith in this truth. All right? Now, you all got to pray, you know, and ask for this understanding and for the Most High to show you. It says in Romans how that he blinded some of the people's eyes, you know. Right, Romans 11:7, it says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which it seeketh for, but the election obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So the elect got the understanding of this truth, and the rest were blinded. And they're gonna those who are blinded think that this is for everybody. Those who are blinded as thinking that when they see a Jew or Greek or Gentile, that is talking about some other nations outside of Israelites. All right. So hopefully, you know, you brothers that watch were edified. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim around the world, pushing this truth around the four corners. That's pushing this truth in sincerity and in truth. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the biblical Israelites. And the Most High only came for us and only is coming for the elect of his people. All right, so we got to get right so we can get out of here. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, death to America.